Hello there. If you're like me, you have probably had some issues lately with DaVinci Resolve and trying to do really anything of substance with the mixer in Fairlight. So I have a solution temporarily for the lack of VST sidechaining or sidechaining in general in Fairlight. And so all it is really, if you look at my buses on the right here, is I'm using the BlueCat Patchwork VST add-on to kind of circumvent DaVinci Resolve's how it handles VSTs and sidechaining and having plugins talk to each other. So on my dialog bus, I am using as many instances of BlueCat's connector as are needed to do my sidechains. And this has worked fairly well so far. There hasn't been too much desync at all that I really noticed. There was one time that I got some echo, but I just restarted my computer and that has not come back since. So BlueCat connector, I can use the app setting and set up my ports. And so what I can do is I can say, okay, I'm going to take the track, my dialog bus, and I'm going to send that track output to my music bus, and I can use that in my EQ duck. I have like a nested patchwork here, and this is set up to do sidechain ducking with whatever I'm choosing to use. I'm checking out this track spacer plugin currently, but yeah, I'm just using essentially like nested patchworks, a lot of patchworks, because Resolve does not allow for, or at least doesn't have it set up so that different VST plugins in the same track can communicate with each other in any meaningful way. So within Patchwork, they can. So I have a Patchwork on the track or the bus, and then within Patchwork, I'm doing all of my actual side chaining. And it's still a little, it's not the prettiest. In here, I have to come in and I have two channels here. I have my my clean signal, and then on the parallel gain, I'm setting up my receiver from my dialog bus. And then in this receiver, I have to set the outputs onto channel 3. And then TrackSpacer receives that on its inputs. Same as the volume duck, which is Dynaride, I think right now. And so all that comes together, and it actually has some nice playback. There's not too much.
Now I'm willing to handle the removal of this highly dangerous creature on y'all's behalf for a price.
So yeah, it ducks the music out. It ducks it out on the EQ, which is just TrackSpacer, but I also have a dynamic EQ set up if I want to use that instead. And it also ducks out the levels using this. So I should probably just automate this with keyframes, but this is a setup for doing kind of like fast turnaround production on some animated projects. So it's a little easier to set up for like plugin automation or just like automatic ducking. So yeah, this is the setup. It works in Resolve 18.6. I thought I'd share because this has been a huge headache for me. I'll share some things that didn't work in case you want to try those. As of right now, the Meta plugin, which is another VST plugin that allows for nesting other VST plugins, works, but it will not let you open a project that has that plugin enabled with the send it node, which is kind of what you need to send signal between tracks. So, it works if you need to use their node editor to do side chaining on the same track, but not if you want to communicate across tracks. There's only been 2 things that I've found in my searching that allows for the communication across tracks in the way that I want it. And that is BlueCat's connector And the other one was, I don't know if I still have it, but I might not have it anymore. Oh yes, I do have it. Sigmod, new gen Sigmod. This can also do effectively the same thing as the BlueCat connector. I'm sure there are other ways to do this, but this is the most reliable, and BlueCat, I think, has a reputation for being pretty dang stable. So this has been my saving grace as far as mixing and Resolve goes. You know, Fairlight's a pretty nice suite to work in, all things considered, and it's really nice that it's attached to a fully fledged NLA and color correction suite. So it would be nice if they you know, added better support for, you know, really simple things that should be built in instead of developing a bunch of AI garbage. But here we are. So that is the solution that I have found so far. I'm still working on this mix template, so don't clown me if it's not looking quite finished. But yeah, a series of BlueCat connector, and also just using BlueCat's Patchwork just for processing signal chains on just like individual dialogue tracks and whatnot. And it has been working really well, and it hasn't been too much of a drag on my CPU either. So far so good. I have noticed a little desync weirdness when I'm using multiple connectors across different tracks, but it only showed up once, and that could have really been a computer problem and not a Patchwork problem. But all things considered, this is the best result that I've been able to get so far with DaVinci Resolve, and I haven't seen a lot of other information out there on this. So if you have other ideas or other solutions, I'd love to hear them. I've tried a whole bunch of stuff. I've tried what's it called? Clutch something element, which is another node-based one. I've tried Bidule. Yeah, nothing's really quite worked how I wanted it to. And this one works okay. So, you know, give it a try. If it helped, let me know. I'd love to know if it worked for you as well. Yeah, have a good one.